Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
Innovative, revolutionary, stellar development, purest universal knowledge. In a transformative, futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding the essence of the new GANS plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural balanced energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection, as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists and healthcare centres. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 401st Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, October 7th, 2021. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today for Mr. Mehran Keshe, who will be presenting once again another Knowledge Seekers workshop. So, Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin yet another adventure in understanding the way the universe works?
Yes. Good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever you listen to these series of knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation. Today is the 401st teaching, and we come back from a weekend of excitement and pleasure, where we managed to open what we call the Keshe Foundation Enhancement Center, Exhibition Center, and we had the pleasure of many knowledge seekers with us to be. And in the coming weeks and days, the TV team will release the videos of the opening and they'll finish the production. Today, we share some pictures with you. The Enhancement Center is well organized in a massive area, and it's become the center for excellence for what we call the new technology, where we introduce the new space system, the new technology in the space, where we separate what we call jet propulsion and rocket technology to the way the system, the universe works. Many knowledge seekers around the world joined us in the opening, and it's a pleasure to see that Keshe Foundation has found its own new center, its own position, and in a way, new ways to introduce a new space technology. This center will expand into much bigger structure and center for excellence for manufacturing and teaching. As we announced in the teachings in the 2 days of the opening, this center will become the center of excellence for teachings of the new space technology. Something which we have realized during the opening and since opening of the center is that we are not about Corona. We are not about Ganses. We are about a new way of travel. We are about a new way of living, not only on this planet, but in the space. The two new enhancement units were shown, which is the vertical and horizontal. And the process of introducing new systems will be carrying on in this center. Hopefully, a new television team will be put together in the center, which are professional, to show every aspect of the technology step by step. And we bring in a new team of research and what we call developments for space technology. Now that we have established the center, we have established a new position, permanent position, many of you can come in and see and extend the understanding of the space technology. This is a space center, and not as we've seen in articles and in other comments, just to do with Corona. This is where man meets the knowledge of the space, where we travel with a new knowledge and technology. We have to realize that the Keshe Foundation New Space Center is where we will show new understandings, where we, as collectively knowledge seekers, will bring new dimensions. We have seen the factory in Iran initiated and taken place and shape, and will become the center to provide what we call backup for Iranian nation technology to support Iran with energy, with the plasma technology. It's the first time Keshe Foundation has entered direct work with a nation, with a government. Thanks to the Iranian Keshe Foundation team, the factory goes into production this month, and we support what we call energy production of Iran through the new Maghreb systems, which is already under test and has been developed as a full organization factory. We have seen the technology now will take shape gradually in China the same. It's the time where not to only show the spin-off of the technology, but what technology can do. In the coming weeks, we will show the first flight systems in the center. We know what we are heading for, and we know how we would release the new enhancement units for vision. 100 units has been ordered and will be distributed around the world very rapidly as a small packaging system, and it will be in the hand of the knowledge seekers around the world, where a blind can see, where people with a brain damage losing sight can see again. Vision of the man speaks about the truth about the man. When you give vision back to a blind, you give him his integrity and dignity. If we have the technology, have tested the technology, and within the next few weeks, we'll spread this unit as rapid as possible across the planet. This is a collaboration and conjunction work between the Chinese Keshe Foundation and Keshe Foundation Austria. And the first sets of these enhancement units will be seen in Austria, and then it'll be delivered to Arizona. In this process, we will endeavor to start delivering rapid development deployment technologies, the fracture units, the brain growth systems for those with a stroke, and then the progress what we've seen with what we call the cancer and the rest. Now we have entered the true phase of delivering technology, not in one and twos. The Keshe Foundation team has gone into full production, and you will see the benefit of it. We need you as knowledge seekers to spread the knowledge, and with what we show and what we deliver, we confirm the correctness of the technology and put silence to many critics which has been sitting around the Keshe Foundation, and those who have used our development time and what we call exposure, trying to catch a fish from dirty water. In the coming weeks, we will release more data directly from the people who have used the systems, which means we start creating our own, what we call scientific progress data, where the other scientists can watch, doctors can monitor. We entered a phase of what we call balanced technology, where the enhancement units, which will arrive in Austria, the first set of what we call a space unit with 6 seats flight system, will be tested in Austria with the lab, where we can initiate the first stage flight system. Then it will be transferred into the appropriate positions to issuance for flight. The Keshe Foundation from this week on has entered a massive commercialization system, both in America, in Mexico, in Iran, in China, in Austria, and will follow with Nigeria and the rest. We have invested massive amounts of finances in past 5 or 10 years. We had enemies within which systematically destroyed us, tried to destroy us step by step. And now we have got rid of the biggest enemy in the Keshe Foundation in the past 12 months. On 1st of October, Keshe Foundation will release facts about the people who left, we kicked out of the Keshe Foundation. You understand who they are, who they've been, and how being close in the Keshe Foundation have been working as smart, releasing data and everything to government to stop us developing. Some 2.1 terabytes of information has been achieved and has been attained by the Keshe Foundation team by the same person trying to discredit and destroy Keshe Foundation over 20 years, continuously undermining the development as worked for the spy, for the Belgian authorities, one step ahead of us. Even the knowledge, full knowledge of murder of Fabio, they had access to, they knew. We released this information after 21st of October, and it'll be very clear why Keshe Foundation up to now, and even today, is running into problem as one person with a massive history of pedophilia from 1975 in big organization infiltrated the Keshe Foundation at the highest level. Now we release the truth about how we've been damaged, and now the damage mutation has started where there is no more damage to be done. They have been working closely under cover of the pillar, but as a spy and head of the biggest pedophile organization in the world since 1970s. And they used the Keshe Foundation to do the same. And now the truth will be released. We wait, we celebrate the success of the Keshe Foundation, but the success has come because of one move in the last few months where we got rid of the biggest spy within the structure of the Keshe Foundation to stop us developing and preempting every move, even knowing and planning the death of Fabio, where I was supposed to be killed. We are very open about this and give this as evidence to the courts. Many of you got tired of these things for past years, but now we have terabytes of information submitted by the lady thinking that the officials and security services will work with what we call one of the biggest ladies involved in pedophilia in the history of Western Europe. Going back into the work of the Keshe Foundation, you will find out that the Keshe Foundation has turned into the space program. We will try to test flight directly from the Keshe Foundation premises, and at the same time to develop technologies that is for a space and can be used by every single one of us. The knowledge seekers in Linz have seen the first horizontal and vertical system. Hopefully next week we will show you the videos and the first enhancement centers, enhancement units that use this technology. The enhancement unit, horizontal enhancement unit, has already been successfully tested in 1 or 2 cases. And we are looking forward to understand more and make it complete for delivery into the Keshe Foundation centers. We are from this month on in the business of delivering high-tech space technology to replace every other means of the what we call health enhancements around the world. Keshe Foundation will release massive amount of technologies, and we would like you to be part of us. Some of the people you see in the pictures are part of the research and development in their own. They are the knowledge seekers for years. They've been developing, and we've been in progress creating new conditions for knowledge. We are not about magravs systems anymore. We are about space development. We are about understanding new knowledge and new technology. In the process of the teaching today, I try to change the position in a way we haven't done this for a long, long time, is to allow the knowledge seekers to teach, to allow the knowledge seekers to share knowledge with us in what and how they have developed technologies. We used to do this. We used to allow knowledge seekers to show what they have developed. They used to bring their technologies to show us. And we saw them immediately through the people who we have got rid of in the Keshe Foundation. They used to be befriended and then attacked in the background with their families and their friends. This process has stopped. We don't have this anymore. We're going back to the process that knowledge seekers can show what they have developed and what can be used on the back of this technology by them, that it can be applied by the other knowledge seekers and other organizations for further space development. I thank you all, especially those who came to Lens to be with us and to share with us the beautiful time we had in opening of the exhibition center. And in the coming weeks and months, gradually the center will become the center of excellence for all of you to start sharing technologies and to manufacture goods which will spread and bring confidence in what we call new space era. I would like to ask Rick if you would like to take over and bring in the knowledge seekers who would like to share knowledge with us today. They depart from the usual way, as today is the beginning of the 400 series, and we can show new developments, new technologies, and how we could share. Are you there, Rick?
Yes, hello, Mr. Keshe. Okay, well, I'm not sure how we're going to dredge up our...
throw you in the deep end, huh?
Yes, this is a bit of a surprise, let's say, but that's fine. So we have 52 attendees here in our Zoom workshop, and people on the live stream and YouTube as well. And so this is the call going out for those who might like to show something that they have been working on. It could be anything from an agricultural project to your flying saucer in the garage. I've been looking for that one to be shown for quite some time, since I started the Keshe Plasma Reactor group, which is kind of the intention to work toward LIFT and the other technologies. But we have so many examples of the plasma technology that have been worked with the knowledge seekers over the years. So now is your opportunity to show something or say something about your experience with the plasma technology, and perhaps to impart something new that we haven't seen before. That would be nice as well. So I remind the attendees they can put their virtual hands up so we can recognize you and allow you to speak. And if you have any material that you'd like to present, then it seems like there's an opening for that as well, as long as it's appropriate, of course. So this is the invitation that goes out. I'll remind people that it's kind of funny for me, because when I do my Keshe Plasma Reactor group every week, I put out this same plea basically for people to do a show and tell, and I'm usually greeted with that exactly, a stunned silence, and it takes a while to get people warmed up a bit. But you know, once they get going and start showing, then it's a beautiful thing. So would anyone like to break the ice, to have something that, something for the Knowledge Seeker Workshop show and tell section here, you might say? any projects being worked on, or things happening in the background that we haven't heard about yet? Quite shy here, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, I can see. We used to encourage people to show their technologies. Now, if there are many people who have experimented a lot in different ways and different manners, and we would like to bring that sharing of the knowledge and common knowledge with everyone back on the table again. We need to encourage back the knowledge is not to be afraid of the attacks and all the things which was carried on and it still is going on, because we will spend one more session explaining exactly how Keshe Foundation has reached to the points of where we are today, how we got without knowing embroiled into pedophile groups, where the lady we kicked out has been involved in one of the largest pedophile organizations in Western Europe since the 1970s. And then they use targeting people, knowledge seekers with children. And now we are safe. We have managed to close that door and we can openly speak about it. Their history will talk about itself. And to us, how we even managed to get Keshe Foundation. Now, when I look at the information in front of me, sometime we've been very lucky to get into this position. Every step our work has been planned, blocked, and in so many ways, one by one, pre-planned to stop. Keshe Foundation has become a massive organization, as you have seen in all sorts of directions. The Chinese operation soon will become a massive rollover of knowledge and technology. The same will come from Iran. And as we said, because of these situations, people have to start talking to us and opening the doors to new knowledge and insight. In the coming weeks, maybe in the next 2-3 weeks, you will see the new enhancement units which are in progress and in development. And the Keshe Foundation will gradually spread the knowledge on the same manner and the same way throughout the world. Share with us the knowledge, and we share with the world the same way as well. We have our knowledge to develop, to extend, and to achieve more for all of us. Maybe today we open the door for you to be able to share, think about it, bring it back in next week or the week after, or in the following teachings. Let Rick know what you want to show, or show what experiment you've done and what you have achieved. And with it, we start progressively developing new, what we call systems for people to refer back to and to be able to go to share and to apply.
Yes, we have a couple of experts in the field, you could say, of Gatua and Lisa here, Lisa McDonald. Gatua, would you like to go ahead first? Hello, Gatua, are you able to speak there? Okay, while we're waiting for Gatua, let's let Lisa go ahead.
Hello,
Yes.
can you hear me? Oh.
Good.
Hello, Gatua, I think. Not sure. I think he said good morning, Mr. Keshe, but then I think we lost him there. Okay, well, Lisa, if you'd like to go ahead, and we also have Ruthie has a hand up here as well.
Yeah, I just remind Mr. Keshe, I have sent you several videos of the agriculture. You can, if you like, I can share that.
It would be nice if you could, please.
I sent you on your WeChat, or I should send you now.
You have to send them on the Telegram for us
Oh,
to be.
I see.
Can you do that?
Yes, I'm doing.
Okay. I'll transfer them on to you for you to show, Rick. Thank you very much, Mehran. Mehran, do you want to tell us what's happening in China? I know you're on the holidays week, or 10 days, national holidays. What is the progress in China?
Yeah, actually, what I can see, the agriculture will be very fast because China has a new policy for the agriculture part to replace the chemical fertilizer. And also, we have the policy to handle the GMO, or even they want to change the GMO seeds. So they starting to put a lot of research and funds on agriculture. So recently, actually, we get many inquiry, even like a government project. They say government will invest to starting to promote, because this is a new China county innovation policy. It's like before they solve the poverty, but right now they want them to be built, the life to be more healthy and more rich. So they're gonna to starting to put huge resource and policy to support that. So I believe next year we will see a lot of huge application on agriculture part.
That is nice to see how China will benefit from the new technology and how it will be take shape for all of us gradually out of China and Iran. We had, I don't know if Yusuf is in the background with us from Iran. He was in the Iran North Agricultural Area yesterday, where they harvested the rice this week from using GANS technology. And the farmer has said that his harvest has more than doubled compared to last year, using only GANSes and no fertilizer. And we wait for the full data to come. This is done in conjunction with the understanding and people from Iran Agricultural Ministry having an eye on it, will allow that, for example, next year, we bring more land on the harvest with a massive increase in the harvest. And we see now we had a wheat increase in the same property for the winter, last winter wheat. And this year now, the same land has been used for the gas, using the gas material to increase the rice harvest for Iran. If we carry with this next year, gradually, as we said, in China, and by 2025, China will become a self-sufficient, what we call grain production nation. New technologies for the growth of the harvest has been developed, which will be tested next year in Iran and in China. I don't see Yusuf in the background. If our team are in touch with them in Iran, if they're online, he can come and explain what difference has made for the farmer this year. Have you managed to get Dr. Gatwa online?
Gatwa, if you can try to go ahead there now.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Keshe.
Morning.
Hello, good morning. Hello, can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
hear you. We hear you clearly now. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Keshe.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you very much. Rick, I would like to share screen, if that is possible.
Okay, let me promote you as a panelist first here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you should be able to share there now.
If you can make me co-host on the other system, because that's the one I use to display. And
Okay.
then I have two systems here.
Okay, you should be in there now.
Thank you very much indeed. Mr. Keshe, I would like to thank you very much for bringing change, complete change to the world. That means bringing peace through science and technology, specifically through plasma science and technology. I very much appreciate this, as I believe everyone else in the world does. So I'm going to share some of my research work here in Kenya that I've done. And forgive me because I was not, I did not prepare to, I've just been welcomed to share this morning. So if there are any errors, I hope you understand. This study, environmental air cleanup and open air drying of livestock feed in Kenya using CO2 guns mangrove fields. This is a research I have done for many years, since 2017. And I'll just read through the slides, very short paragraphs. A study was conducted in Kenya from March 2017. Actually, this is 2018. And it continues today. It has not stopped. This study was to test the efficacy of CO2 guns, liquid plasma mangrove, magnetic gravitational fields, in elimination of offensive odors and livestock sheds, from livestock sheds, as well as effective open air drying of livestock feed. Subsequent to observed effectiveness of the CO2 liquid plasma in the experimental zero grazing livestock unit with 2 to 4 cattle, this experiment was expanded to include school and home outdoor toilets and a greenhouse. And even subsequent to that, I have gone to marketplaces and used garbage heaps to test the efficacy of these CO2 mangrove fields in eliminating odors. A draft pictorial report of the experiment follows below, but a more detailed report will be presented in due course. Indeed, I'm writing a paper with all the details of these experiments. So we start with a zero grazing cattle shed experiment. This is a unit, and figure 1 shows offensive odors completely eliminated from this zero grazing unit using CO2 liquid plasma mangrove fields. How this was done: liquid plasma bottles were placed in March 2018 here it says 17, it's 18, and have been in place since then, have not been replaced, and they are still effective. So these are bottles in a simple, the water bottles that one buys for drinking water. Then I have used liquid plasma or CO2 in those very half-a-liter bottles and placed them at the corners of this shed on both sides. That is to say, this is the front. So I have one here, one in the middle, and one towards the end. And then at the back of the shed, the same. And one is hanging someplace in the back. So that is 7 bottles total. That is 3.5 liters. I was aware that, of course, because the plasma works only in one way, the stronger gives to the weaker in order to create balance. But these bottles are the same because I understand that you cannot have 2 bottles that are exactly equal. So there must be some differences. So I did not put some half or 3/4, all are full. I don't even open them, but they're effective at the time I place the bottle on the top. The ones on the ground alone do not work, but once I place one on top, above ground, immediately there is no smell. And this has gone for years, since 2018. So, so I extended this to a primary school near where I live. And I involved the kids to place the bottles. These are outdoor toilets. So they placed these bottles with just plasma, liquid plasma of CO2. It is amazing. Like one was placed here, above one was there. The other ones on the ground. You can even see one here. And on the back, that's it. Smell gone forever. Same here and same here. So this figure 2 shows primary school kids rejoice after successful elimination of offensive odors from their outdoor toilets using CO2 liquid plasma. Now, I imagine that if I had seen these while I was the age of these kids, what I would have done with this science and this experiment. Now, I believe that they will do the same wherever they go. They will teach the world that with just a few bottles of liquid, which I have also shown them how to make anyway, you can eliminate bad smells from a school toilet. That's amazing. Okay, I continue. Now, after that success, somebody came to my house and I showed them my livestock structure. There was no smell, absolutely. And then they carried my CO2, I gave them CO2 liquid plasma. And when they went, this particular one went with water to a very dry place in Kenya, near Sudan border. She put it in the greenhouse, the way I had shown her how to put on within the shed. And then she forgot about it. She just went to class. She teaches. And then the kids came running to her. What have you done? What have you done? Why? The plants in the greenhouse have woken up. Apparently, they were withering. And now they had just woken up. So everybody was excited. And that success has been copied around by so many others. So one greenhouse in a dry part of Kenya was brought to life within approximately 30 minutes after 5 quarter-full half-liter bottles with CO2 liquid plasma were placed in the greenhouse. One bottle was placed in the ground at each of the 4 corners of the greenhouse, while the 5th bottle was placed around the center at about 2 meters above ground. Greenhouse pictures are not presently available. Now, another amazing achievement, open air drying of pineapple feed for livestock. So these are the rejects one that don't go to market, or they could be rotting. And then I placed just a few bottles. Let me point to them where they are. This bottle here on the ground, There is another one here that may not show. There is another one here. This was like a star formation. And one above, I hung one here. That's it. These dry without insects, and they dry and for over a long time, and they don't rot. So, and you can see here, successful drying of those, and then I feed them to cattle, both at the time when they are starting to dry, and even when they are at this stage. I think here they become like a cake. The waters have left, so they are dry, the sugars remain. So this is also amazing, that you can dry this at almost zero cost. I mean, how much does a half-liter bottle of water cost? Very little. So this success is amazing. So to conclude, various plasma technology agriculture experiments in Kenya have shown that application of GAN's liquid plasma MAGRAV fields effectively preserve harvested livestock feed in storage and eliminate bad odors from livestock sheds and public toilets. They also promote vigorous growth of greenhouse and field crops. These results indicate that GANs can be effectively used to clean environments, not only in agricultural systems, but also in cities and other public places, and can also enhance crop productivity. In fact, I have gone to marketplaces. These markets serve about 2,000 people or thereabouts every day, maybe more, 5,000. And usually you find a heap of garbage. And I placed just a few, very little water, very little liquid plasma in a few bottles in a star formation, one above, and eliminated smells in the marketplace. Amazing. The results also indicate that there's great potential for commercialization of simple but specific plasma reactor setups for inexpensive but widely needed environmental cleanup systems in both private and public places. Similar studies with expanded scope that include livestock and human feeding stations and industrial GANs plasma products are needed, and this can be achieved. I have a few updates this October. I have also an experiment where I placed liquid plasma mixed of the plant parts, put it in bottles that you can see in the background here, and placed them on the ground at 7-meter distances, 7 meters, and then one in the middle to be the top one. So there are multiple star formation systems within this plot. And then this was a year ago, a year and a few months. I have been comparing the growth, but now I have started to take yields, and the differences have shown are clear that there is improvement in pineapple growth, both the plant parts and harvest, using very simple systems at almost zero cost, maybe $1. Yield data coming soon. Okay. I also have the livestock here, chicken, geese, and even guinea fowl, as you can see here. So I have various animals, and I have a plate of eggs here. So if you know how you could, of course, get some energy from these eggs. But the idea is I wanted to show when you free range them, when I mix this chicken with the cattle, then they clean up some of the droppings of the cattle, and they eat the grasses with the cattle. They produce very, very rich eggs. You can see the color. When they are brooding, when they have young ones, when they are sitting on eggs, I feed them with the chicken feed, and sometimes they start laying eggs, and you can see the color that shows it's not very rich in color. So you can see the differences in egg yolks by color, which tells me these ones are very rich. This one is really not very rich. So free ranging has shown perfect results. And by the way, all these are fed since birth, since when they were born. I grew this when they were three months old, the mothers, and then they have given birth to young ones. Everything here is fed. Every animal is fed with CO2 guns for their drinking needs. Just as I use these liquid plasmas, my animals also do. So we share. Thank you very much. That is the end of my presentation. And I thank you very much for listening and for giving me this opportunity to show my work in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Katwa. You've been at it for long. It's beautiful, the work you do. We learn more and more how the knowledge seekers are using and applying the technology in different ways. Rick, I sent you some videos from China. If you would like to open some of them and show them. And can you see them?
Yes, I just saw them, Mr. Keshe. So just give me a minute to download them here. And yeah.
Wang Lin can explain to you because it's all in Chinese. You had Lisa in the background who wanted to share something with us. Is Lisa still there?
She sent a message in YouTube that she was having trouble with her microphone, but we can, yeah, I don't think she's there right now. So I guess she had some other issue. We do have a hand up here with Liko. Perhaps we can let them go ahead while I get these videos downloaded. Liko, would you like to go ahead? See, your microphone is open, but I'm not hearing anything yet. You'll have to fix your connection to microphone and Zoom. You might have to restart your Zoom in order to do that, or go to the preferences in Zoom and check your microphone setting. Okay, well, they're working on that. Let's see if I can get the first video going here. Okay, there we are. And do you want the audio on this on these videos, Mr. Keshe, or just keep that off?
Wang Lin is here with us. She can speak English because it's mainly Chinese. Wang Lin, okay. Can you talk over them, please?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, do you want me to leave the audio off or just down low?
Low, yeah. Lower.
Okay,
thank you. Then I can.
Okay. We'll try it around there and see. If you need it lower, let me know, or higher or whatever. So I can't really tell from this end. Okay, let me get that set up here. I've got ready to go. There we go. And okay, here we are.
This is the activity for our first 100 motifs has harvested, and then we we
是的，
are
是的，
there
非常棒。刚才有朋友说不知道怎么加我们的客服啊，就可以加关注，然后跟他留言就行了。如果你实在不知道怎么加客服呢，那你也可以加我，然后加我的关注，然后再给我
Wang
留
Lin,
言，
Wang Lin,
那我
you're
会尽可
over
能的去处
talking
理
over
啊。
the
然后
Chinese.
其实今天我
Rick,
们
can
还有一
you
个就是可
close
能有一些
the
朋友他们
Chinese noise?
yeah, sorry.
The voice.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Chinese TikTok we call Douyin, and there we had harvested the first 100 more kiwi, and the guy here, he is the manager.
Can you explain to us what is a mall?
Mm,
One mall in Chinese is about 660 square meter.
yes, 666. Yeah. They have 300 more land. It's on the mountain. It's quite far. And this gentleman is the manager of the farm, and they are all like veterans. I mean, they come back from army or like their relatives of army, and also they are like learn Chinese traditional culture, and it's all nice people there. And so they have a lot of story about this kiwi, because even when they buy some chemical fertilizer, but his boss told him, no, don't use, and only use GANS water. So this is the first time they didn't use any fertilizer, they didn't use any pesticides for the full farm to be grown. So it's the taste is very good. Actually, for me, it's kind of like the most natural taste from the memory. That's what I call it. And the farm is very, very beautiful. When I was there, they're full of many insects. You can hear the insects make noise here and there, and a lot of birds. And so it's kind of a very how to say very vivid life there. And because they put more than 3,000 GANS bottles to cover the whole field. So when the night I was staying there for one night, I can feel all the energy fields from the huge GANS matrix. It's like you're floating on the boat. The energy was there. So it's very interesting and really, really cool. So we want to see more and more this kind of successful application on agriculture, on fruit. Yeah, and this is the we have a like online sale there, and also some can get a free as a gift. So we have a 2 hours broadcasting and online sharing with a lot of people, and you can see here is 36 people are watching online, and then yes, we're sharing a lot, and the story of the farm and how they made it, and yeah, a lot of things. So it's quite interesting. Okay, I think this one is enough.
Rick, you have another one you want to play? Yeah.
This one.
Yep.
This one is another also organic farm. They have 2,000 more land, and they had signed a strategy contract with us. We will build the organic farm all as a GANS organic farm. And you can see the cucumber here. The cucumber has a lot, like in each of this one, in each of one leaf, they grow one cucumber. The guy, this is a technician. He
这
said
是干丝水种，
there's only like one cucumber, like in 3 of the every 3 or 4 leaves can grow one. But right now, every leaf has one. That means we can reach 3 times or even more than the old harvest. And also the taste is quite well. Everybody who had this, they say it's quite well. So you can see it's very healthy. And I just take one and eat there. Yeah, it's so all the this they only spray 4 times, but they also still use some like they call bio fertilizer. But that's very expensive for the bio fertilizer. For each of these like greenhouse, they can use 1 year several thousand, maybe 4,000 or 3,000, 4,000 for the fertilizer fee. So I told them they can still use that, but if combined with our technology, they can only maybe use one fourth of the bio fertilizer, and then we can still achieve the good harvest. Yeah. So is there anything else?
Yeah, there was. How is your development in China? How now you set the factory up and you're going into production?
Yeah, our factory still are in decoration. Suppose the office will be ready this month, and the production line will be ready next month. Yeah, we heard that Chinese government want to invest $100 million for our project. So we are waiting for the funds to be solid there, and then we can start the negotiation.
We originally negotiated over the past 3-4 years, and they were waiting for us to open the factory. And in our original contract, the Chinese government has supported Keshe Foundation, Keshe Foundation GAN's technology. And now they have confirmed that the 100 million investment will be going to another 19 factories similar in conjunction with the Keshe Foundation. This is thanks to all the knowledge seekers work in China, which have kept the knowledge in forefront, thanks to people like Xiaojin, and many, many more in the background. And especially Wang Lin and Chao and the rest of the team. If I'm correct, if you can confirm it, the Chinese officials confirm themselves that they have allocated this 100 million for collaboration in the past 2 or 3 weeks. And this will give us a new opportunity to expand the Keshe Foundation to help the Chinese agriculture mainly in that process. Thank you very much, Wang Lin, and your team for the hard work. Any other information? Thank you, Wang Lin. Rick, do you have anybody else? Hello, are you there, Rick? Hello, can you hear me? I think we might have lost Rick in the background. Yes, Rick has dropped off. Yeah, we carry on with some more of what we call sharing of the knowledge. I'm going to share with you maybe one or more two pictures from the exhibition center, which is part of what you see from the back end, the entrance, and the downstairs, which is the exhibition and the conference room. The enhancement, the vertical enhancement unit, you'll see in the far distance, and with it is the vertical system, both next to each other. And the Keshe Foundation Exhibition Center is in 2 floors. The basement floor, the ground floor, which is the conference and what we call TV center. Are there any other, while we wait for Rick to come back in? We have lost him, he has dropped off.
Mr. Keshe, hi, it's Dean here. Can I help? I've sent through some images. I don't know if you need any more.
Oh, it's okay, no problem. We go back to the teaching, and we shared some knowledge, and we try from now on to what we call share knowledge and technology in what we call in an appropriate way that more future knowledge seekers can use the know-how and the knowledge for changing conditions and for bringing balance into what we call the understanding and technology of the Keshe Foundation. Our ultimate goal from now on, now that we have opened the center, is establishment and what we call the flight test. This is where the change will come with, as much as in sharing knowledge and technology with other people. Receiving, as Wang Lin said, 100 million investments from the Chinese government for the first phase of the first factory out of 119 to be built shows the correctness of the technology proven to one of the largest nations in the world. At the same time, we see that the same process now will take shape in the United States. Keshe Foundation supporting its organizations in USA will show the same operation and investments from different governments and nations. We still operate under the banner of the technology in exchange for peace, and in the coming time, that banner will be expanded into not only for peace, but in sharing space technology together. I see it as part of the responsibility of the knowledge seekers to bring Kenya, China, even Bangladesh, or third world nations, as they call them in South America, to all be part of the space program. That no nation is left, and the space technology is not a privilege, what we call to certain nation. In the coming months, we'll invite those of you who have experience in space development, irrespective of your color, race, or language, to join us in Linz for the first structure setting of the flight systems in a space development of the Keshe Foundation. We have a massive opportunity in the new exhibition center. We will disclose further and further as step by step things have taken shape and we develop more. We have the facilities to share knowledge with many governments, at the same time with knowledge seekers through governments. What is the next step of the space development? Where does the Keshe Foundation and space technology will take us? What do we expect to see in this new development? We share knowledge, but how would this knowledge bring fruits of what we call peace and dividends of peace for all of us? We all faced with a new dilemma. We are all trapped in changes which we have not been used to. If you go back maybe 2.5 years ago, as I was explaining to the knowledge seekers, we were talking about how we take the people into the space station, how and who will launch a next machine to be in the space for a few seconds. We were hearing in the news how military forces will planning exercises to show alliance and to show new technologies of weapon technology. And in past 2.5 years, all have become silent. Mankind has changed. Mankind has become imprisoned with the small virus. Mankind has changed its course. Many of us lost jobs, many of us lost future in what was to be, and now it's not. We see end of weapon technologies because there is no one to buy weapons. Most of the money is going into injections, supporting national structure for health and people without job. We see more and more pressure on governments to find a new solution, to find a new dimension. And through knowledge seekers and your work, now you have to become that alternative. You have to take these to your governments, that there is an alternative, not for Corona, but for new jobs, new space technologies, new dimensions. And in that process, we have to show Keshe Foundation is not just what we call a knowledge, but is a technology. It's a technology where governments can rely on creating new jobs, and government can rely on creating new dimensions. What is the next step for all of us? How can we, as knowledge seekers, establish centers where, like what we see in Dr. Gatwa, the technology can be transferred from one nation to another, from one village to another. And as we've seen with Vanglin, as we've seen with in Iran, everyone is ready to embrace the new change because it's free. It is our knowledge and it's our technology. And one of the best things for us is to, what we call, go out and start sharing. Share the knowledge as much as you can. And at the same time, share it in a way that people can understand. It's not a source of enigma. It's not something that we do not know, and there is something different. Try to walk away from connecting the Keshe Foundation work suddenly to Corona. Corona is something temporary. Do not mention, do not go towards trying that we have a solution for Corona. We have the solution. People, we have a solution for viruses in a space. Nothing to do. The name of the man's problem today is Corona. In a space, another virus will be Brona or whatever else. So we have to change our tone. We have to change the way we educate, the way we share knowledge. Do not go around the framework that we have a solution for corona. We don't have a solution for corona. We have found the way viruses work, and we have found the solution for viruses in space. If man wants to use it for present time under any name, that's his privilege. This is the sharing of the knowledge. We have to teach our knowledge seekers that do not get attached to one thing or the other. We don't have a chrono suit. We have a suit which in space can create condition in holding energy packs away from the physicality that life can become bearable. So this is how we have to re-educate ourselves, understand and share the correct way, that people see a bigger picture of the knowledge, the space technology, agriculture, the what we call use of it in different application, and then in energy, in health, and the rest of it. Open the horizon of the knowledge and walk away from talking about one thing and one matter, which is now because it's a hot cake. You get touched by a virus, you know the solution, use it to protect yourself and walk away from it. That's all you need to know. Doesn't matter what name you give into it, what name you might have. Try to teach a broader aspects of the technology, the space technology. And then if comes to one thing or another, just touch on it, and that's all you need to do. And let the people understand and explain, and then themselves to develop it. Rick, I see you're back.
Yes, Mr. Keshe had an internet disruption there, quite a big one, I guess. So I'm just getting stabilized now. I think I'm back, and I should be able to bring up those videos again. Just give me a minute here.
No, it's okay. We've been through the videos there. We finished.
Okay.
The problem. If
Okay,
you want
good.
to break, well, the break to sort things out in the background, and then we come back.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll leave it to you to go for a commercial break.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll take a few minutes here to take a commercial break in the 401st Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, October 7th, 2021. Okay. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we're back again now, the 401st Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, October 7th, 2021. Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin the next part of the workshop? And if so, how would you like to proceed?
Yes, good. Thank you very much. I was just looking at something which I'm forwarding to you to see. This is the what we call the cotton production this year, which has used GANs technology. And our knowledge seekers from China Chow has just forwarded these to be shared. And I send them to you, Rick. Have a look, and if you can share it. There, you have a video there. Have you received
Yes. Yes, I just see it here now. Just give me a minute.
If you
Yeah,
want.
actually, Chao is in Xinjiang. He is in the land right now to see the harvest of this 160 more cotton.
He is there now with the farmer harvesting.
Yes, he fly there yesterday, and today is the harvest day, I think. So maybe he sent you the latest update of the harvest. Yeah.
Yes.
That could be beautiful.
You want the sound for that, Mr. Keshe, or no?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay.
You have a video to play. 2 videos we sent you.
Okay. Okay, I see the other one there. Let me get that downloading. Oops.
If you remember, we told you about 6 months ago that we supported a farmer with the ganses. He already tested the ganses last year. Would you like to explain more, Magdalene?
Yes, this cotton is we buy the seeds and give the seeds to the farmers, and they soak the seeds and plant it. This is also, this time they didn't use any fertilizer and use the drone to spray. And yeah, so we're expecting the harvest for a long time. Since last year, he planted maybe several more, tried. And one of the knowledge seeker get some cotton from him to make the duvet. And then he said, it's very strange. It's like the cotton, the duvet can make him feel like comfortable. It's like he said he used a 6 kilo duvet in winter and summer the same, but he feel the same comfortable. Didn't feel hot in summer and also didn't feel cold in winter. It's like the gas field became another like energy package him. So it sounds good. And also we had sent this cotton to instrument to test. This is they tested the what we call the disturbed field. I'm not sure if I may translate. It's like something can test the field. And then they found that after they take out the cotton, it still shows that there's something there. There's the energy there. So this shows those cotton has already carried the GANs magra field. And so we think if use those cotton to make clothing or make them it will be very healthy for people because it's really nature. It's growing, it's feeding with the GANs plasma field.
Great. Can you play the videos or is there something wrong?
It has sound with it, so I didn't want to override her talking. So let's try it here.
You have a second video there.
Yes, just a second here.
This is the video. This is the harvest we've been waiting for. And as I said, knowledge seekers around the world are literally testing and trying everything in how they can improve the agriculture in different shape and aspects. This video is just right, live literally from China. Yeah. This is a new harvest, new way, and as we see, it'll affect the production. The harvest increase will know once it's completed this harvesting. The foundation will take the seed after the harvest, preserve it in Jindenjan, and next year the new seeds, totally grown through gas production, will be used for the next cycle, next agricultural cycle. And then we're producing what we call harvest, which has no modification in a natural process, but increasing the harvest by once or twice more than what it is. The Keshe Foundation in China has taken a new policy. What they've done this year is that they give ganses to the farmers free on a contract basis, that the farmer knows how much harvest he can have from his work of past years and what's the national growth for the harvest. Let's say if they produce 2 tons for a given area, and the national average is 2 tons because the government controls everything, we know roughly. At the end of the harvest, if the farmer produces 3 tons, 4 tons, or 5 tons, then the Keshe Foundation gets paid with the difference in the increase in the harvest. In a way, what we've done, we have given the GANs freely to the farmers. And if they increase their harvest, plus percentage of the increase in plus will come to the foundation as a payment that it allows us to develop and research more. This way, we rapidly broke into what we call the farming community in China, which means farmer increases his income without any investment, but shares part of the increase with what we call the people who increase the harvest for. This approach has always worked in many aspects because the farmer who has been used to maximum 2 tons and lives in the poverty line, now he takes 3 or 4 tons, has a better income, and the Keshe Foundation takes part of it, of the increase that allows us to help the other farmers in the next generation. So most probably in the next cycle next year, thousands and thousands of farmers will be given the GANs freely in sharing the harvest, the increase in the harvest on the national average basis releases by the government. We are walking by example the farmers out of poverty. And this is what we said from the beginning. And this is why the Chinese government is prepared to invest hundreds of millions with the Keshe Foundation. We are not there to prove we give you something to give us. We give it to you freely, you benefit by it and you share. And this will become a massive movement within the Keshe Foundation and the Chinese agriculture, where there is no need for fertilizers, but the increase in the harvest not only moves the nation out of poverty of the importing grains, but it moves the farmers out of poverty in a direct way without any investment from the government. The Keshe Foundation is the investor. And in that position, with a new factory set up, will allow the whole nation in one massive way in the next 2 to 3 years to become a nation self-sufficient for grain. Now you see the scales, you see in the others, and then will become part of the what we call Chinese agriculture. Every single knowledge seekers in China has worked so hard, and now we see the harvest. We see the fruit of the work. And this is why we went into China, to bring what we call life back into some 25 million below poverty line farmers, which in the next 3 or 5 years will become self-sufficient and out of the poverty line. Giving the ganses freely to the farmers was the biggest move the Keshe Foundation made in China, in freely giving access, and people like Chao with his team in Guozhou, encouraging the farmers to receive these freely and then prepare to share. This will change what we call the grain policy for China. And at the same time, as Wang Lin told us, the reason you hear Chinese invest with us is because we invested in China as Keshe Foundation, as our knowledge seekers. Any other point? Are there any other questions? Thank you very much, Chao. Thank you very much, Wang Lin and the Chinese team.
You should see the aubergine.
What do you mean?
The video for the aubergine and this pitia flowers.
I forwarded them to Rick. Rick, I sent you another one from the agriculture side. If you want to play that one with the aubergine.
That's the fruit. Is that the one?
It's just come in, yes. I've just sent it to you last week.
Oh, okay. I see. Mm-hmm.
And then there is 2 more videos. Would you like to play the aubergine?
Yes, here we go. Just a second here.
Would you like to explain while it's played?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Should I play the audio or just leave the audio off?
Take the audio off, please, because I think it's in Chinese.
Okay, here we go.
So this is the aubergine harvest in this organic farm, and also the cucumbers. It's very fresh, and especially aubergine, you can see it's like it's shining.
Has there been an increase in the production using the ganses?
Oh, sure, but he didn't have the comparison land. He used the whole greenhouse sprayed for gans. So all this just only spray for 4 times gans water.
And how much has he increased his harvest?
Because he don't have the comparison data, but for the cucumber, the roughly data could be 2 to 3 times, even more than.
There's another video of flowers I sent you, Rick. I don't know what that is. You've
That
seen
is
it?
Pitya.
为了拍到这么美，
What's Pitya? Thank you very much.
Coming up here in just a second.
Yep.
And I had to bring the aubergine to some leaders, and that's the most welcome dishes. They feel it's so delicious. And this is the Pitya flower. It's very beautiful. And yeah, it's only blooming in the early morning. So I have to get up very early, like 5 o'clock to take the video. And they only spray twice, but it tastes so different, much delicious, much like also much sweet than before.
This is something we do not know in the West.
No, you should know that in China. This is like the red fruit. It's a fruit, and they have some little seeds inside it. Actually, it's
it means dragon fruit, you call it.
Oh yeah, we call it, directly translates fire dragon fruit.
Fire dragon fruit, yeah.
Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That fruit in the markets here in the west coast of Canada, the dragon fruit.
Yeah, it's a red one and a white one. In China, you can't escape from it. Wherever you go, it's there. Thank you very much. Are there any questions anywhere? It's good to be able to share with knowledge seekers what they've achieved and what they be kept away in direct teachings all the time. Now we bring back for knowledge seekers to share their what they studied and what they developed and how is affecting their what we call progress. Thank you very much. Are there any questions in the background?
We have a hand up here from somebody I don't recognize, Sateria, or I'm not sure, but allow them to speak and see what they have to say. Hello, can you open your microphone there? Hello. I see your mic's open.
Maybe it's by mistake.
Perhaps by mistake. Satira, oops, the hand went down, so I guess it was by mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at our questions here.
Would you like to change the picture to the normal screen background?
Okay. Right. We had a question earlier in the chat. Let me get my chat up here. I'm not sure if it... Yes, it's still there. From Salamia, who wanted to know, can you help us to understand about hydrogen as a future for energy? Is it a good idea or not from our plasma science point of view? I guess hydrogen as a fuel has been in the news recently. They can create it with solar energy because the solar energy prices are coming down. It makes it more lucrative to make hydrogen as a fuel. But of course, what do you think about hydrogen as a future for energy, Mr. Keshe?
Hydrogen, from Keshe Foundation point of view, as a magnetic field energy source is different than what you speak about hydrogen today in what we call energy industry. We look at hydrogen in a totally different angle, in a totally different view. And we use hydrogen in a very different ways for different applications in the gas technology. Most of the hydrogen technology in space technology is hidden from public. We'll never teach. It's part of the technology which is for space development and what we call agricultural or human level, GANS level, which you create the hydrogen and CH3 and the rest, has its own application. But hydrogen as a plasmatic magnetic field system, which has never been taught by the Keshe Foundation. We never teach it, but we develop a different type of hydrogen for space development. This is not something new. Originally was used in tests, in flight tests, and it's a different way using and enhancing the fields of the magnetic fields of the plasma we call the hydrogen. In deep space technology, what you call the plasma of a hydrogen is the only, more or less, the space fuel which can take man across the universe. You cannot do it with a gas of hydrogen and the rest. The space hydrogen and energy is beyond the understanding of the present time for many people, but it has been used. We use it very, what I call as a nuclear physicist, understanding of the technology, and public and most of the knowledge seekers do not have the what I call the concept or the understanding of what I call the space technology in that level. If you look at this picture, your two pictures in the center, when you look at it in the far end, these are the edge of space plasma technology in hydrogen, but is not the gas hydrogen as you think. These two systems use the hydrogen plasma technology only, but we create the hydrogen in these systems through nuclear radiation, nuclear development radiation. These are very advanced hydrogen development technology. We create the hydrogen from base zero, from fields to gravitational magnetical fields. The hydrogen game played nowadays for cars and the rest is what I call is a gimmick to what actually hydrogen does and work and use in space. This is one of the reasons we push forward with Iran centrifuge systems. The development of the hydrogen through nuclear power technology is the only way to access space, deeper space, not with gases and you hope you create lift and motion.
Is the hydrogen part of the lift technology for the so-called flying car technology for use on Earth as well?
Yes, but not the hydrogen the way you produce it.
Well, you mentioned that atomic hydrogen back in the early days of the plasma group. Is that what you're referring to, or?
Yes. We create the hydrogen from zero, the way it's done in the universe, so we can control his gravity and his magnetic field. This knowledge is not a way, I mean, no knowledge seeker had access. It's not a common knowledge. It's a nuclear weapon technology.
No wonder I can't get someone to show their saucer in their garage. It's very high priority technology that's really should be reserved for those organizations that are designed to be able to handle such things. So that makes sense that it should be, it's not really for public consumption, generally speaking.
No, space technology is just the same as what we call in common language plasma. And people say, oh, there's a plasma in the blood, or we have a plasma technology instead. Hydrogen is one of the most powerful weapon technologies in the universe. And weapon as in a way for protection, in a way for deep space travel. And you produce from cosmic rays into the hydrogen. I was explaining this in a very short way in the opening conference this Saturday to answer one of the knowledge seekers. We create hydrogen from cosmic rays. In these systems, we produce cosmic rays in a very specific way, and from rays we gather plasmas, and then we dictate the plasma in what we want to do with it. That's why we can change it, convert it. And one of the reasons we are in the way heading for Iran nuclear centers in centrifuge in Natanz is that when these fast breeders, what we call cycling systems, we can access large amount of what we call cosmic rays. We are not after the weapon to create what we call uranium or plutonium. In the process of the separation, there are huge amounts of rays which only can be done at 30,000 RMB, which the Iranian scientists have managed to access to it, which allows production of the massive amount of cosmic rays, which allows us to create hydrogen in different shape or form, and then use for gravitational field creation. The future of the deep space travel sits and relies on fast, what we call systems, which can deliver rapid, what we call fields without conversion into nuclear material. And at the moment, Iran is the only nation which has access to such a 30,000 RMB, what we call technologies. And we can travel, we can use this system as a part of the operation of the feeding system, and we can change direction. The hydrogen technology in nuclear centers in Natanz are the key to the future development of the space technology of the man. And this is why we work to bring cosmic technology, cosmic ray technology, hydrogen into operation. This is what originally I developed in a very simple way, and that's what we achieved, lift and motion. But for a deep space travel, you need a continuous field flow, and then in the future, most probably we'll bring it down to be able to be used in what we call automotive industry and the car industry. and for transportation and transmutation. You cannot create hydrogen out of the way you do with gases for a space technology. The hydrogen of the space technology has to come through cosmic ray collection, which I don't know any scientist at the moment who has such a knowledge. And it's gathered by the Keshe Foundation. It's part of our knowledge and belongs to the upcoming space development. Any other question?
Salome was asking if you could help her send an official document to the Romanian government, if you think it could help about that topic with the use of hydrogen and so on.
All negotiations will be done through Iranian President's Office of Science and Technology. All our situation now is any development in that line will be done through the Office of the Scientific Research of the Office of His Excellency President Raisi of Iran. We are in that progress, even with the Chinese. All communications has to be made in respect to this and energy through this office. The Iranian government has appointed, I think, an officer in this respect, with respect to Keshe Foundation and this kind of work. And we only share, we don't give names to public, and it'll be done directly internally between governments.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I suggested that the information was already offered to governments a few years ago as the Keshe patent USB key offered to all the governments of the world, actually, at that time.
Now we see what happens and how we take shared collaboration between the Keshe Foundation and the Iranian, what we call administration. If we do not succeed the way we plan, we will take a new course. But at the moment, all our affairs in respect to energy and space and defense is handled by and will be handled to the offices as is worked by our Keshe Foundation in Iran.
Okay, very good. We have a question or a hand up here with Eric Van Over. Would you like to go ahead?
Yes, Mr. Keshe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I'm the good Dutchman, remember?
I know many good Dutchmen.
Okay.
Depends if it's a flying Dutchman or just a Dutchman.
Okay. I've been out at sea before, so yeah, maybe. I was wanting to ask, you said quite a long time ago that when someone was getting in the enhancement units, that if they had metal parts put in there, like a shoulder or a hip or replacement or things like that, that prostheses, that that the current technology, they would have to wait until improvements in the technology before they could use that. Is that still true with the enhancement units or not?
The new vertical and enhancement, horizontal enhancement units, in this, we have resolved this matter now.
Oh, okay. So
the new horizontal enhancement unit is its functionality is fully controlled in a different way, and we can, but you have to consider in what extent the rest of the use of the system will have on the what we call the implant. The new horizontal enhancement unit can isolate certain parts because we can control the reactors in that way. And we have made a lot of improvements on it, but it can be done, yes. Don't forget, you haven't seen today yet the horizontal and the vertical enhancement unit. Hopefully the videos will be made for it next week, and they go for sale for $250,000 each as of next week. And the same with what we call the vision enhancement unit. These 3 units will become addition to all the enhancement centers, and will give a bigger opportunity, covers more spectrum of application and use of the technology.
Oh, so
microphone is open in the background.
The so I have a stent in my heart. In my heart vessels. So
yeah.
So that would you could get around that, I guess.
In some cases, yes. In some cases, yes. We can isolate positions now in certain ways. If we can, yes. We can pinpoint accuracy to the center of the tumor. So we should be able to withdraw or isolate certain environments too. The new system has been developed by the Keshe Foundation, which you most probably will see in the enhancement centers, is what we call individual enhancement portable units. It's already been tested, and its work, its function is very unique. Is, for example, if you have a tumor, and then this system works directly on the tumor itself. Doesn't matter what kind of tumor it is. And then we handle the secondary conditions through the horizontal or vertical units. These units can be used for open heart surgeries, to use in the short term, gradually, instead of having an open heart surgery for a block arteries, that we gradually clean up the blood vessels with the surgeons and the doctors understanding what they do. These units will become part of the tool of the enhancement centers as we mass produce it for specific conditions, be it for what you call the heart repairs without operation and that kind of things. It's already been developed, and it can be done. And maybe people like you who have a stunt can gradually, with the supervision of the doctors who know what they're doing, do a full repair. We foresee even no need for change of valves, the heart valves, with the new systems which are getting developed. It just needs deeper, what do you call it, development of the technology.
The enhancement units are still for medical personnel, right?
We don't enter medical. We are there to enhance the body function. All our systems are enhancing the functionality. They're not medical systems.
Oh, okay. So anybody can order the enhancement system?
It has to be done within the rules and regulations of the Keshe Foundation in the enhancement centers.
Okay.
And there are contractual agreements. You cannot just buy one and think you can use it at home. It has to be, it has rules and regulations. If you buy a system it has to be usable by public, and it has to be under supervision of the medical doctors and in the centers of the Keshe Foundation. It's becoming more and more accessible, more and more reachable. The horizontal enhancement unit, vertical enhancement unit, the prices which is put in is become affordable for many people to be able to open centers and to start using it for public. We have officially started what we call the distribution and production of all the enhancement units right across the production line. It's not only the body enhancement unit. Now you have a horizontal, you have the vertical, you have the vision, you have the fracture unit, which is coming up. You have the individual, what we call individual units. And the family is growing. And the centers, when you go to an enhancement center, there should be every possibility to change the position and condition of the body of the man. And we don't treat, it's the processing of the body.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. We have many inquiries from people who been wanting to purchase or to organize or build enhancement centers. As of next week, you'll be responded to. Now that we have completed the process of the what we call completion of the reactors and enhancement units, you'll be contacted back. Or if you want to go ahead with purchase and setting up of the enhancement centers around the world, you will receive immediate response, more or less. And as of November of this year, 3 enhancement units a week will be released around the world. And then from after the Chinese New Year, we expect to release 1 enhancement unit, body enhancement unit a day, and to fulfill our commitment. And at the same time, the same 1 or 2 enhancement units, vertical and horizontal a day, and number of the what we call vision enhancement. We are now ready to deliver, and we start process of mass production. It took a year and a half to develop new what we call enhancement units, with a view of what we call rapid deployment and application. Any other questions?
We have another hand up here. Second, with Kay. Kay, would you like to go ahead?
Good morning. Can we hear me?
Yes, good morning, Kay. Are you still in Linz or have you left? Good
morning, Mr. Keshe. Nice to hear you. You sound a bit better than the past few days that we were in your company. Missed the opportunity to have a bit of a private time with you, but never mind. We can catch up later on. Yes, we came back last night around about 2:30. We got back to London. It was a mission, 15 hours a straight drive with 10 minutes break, but we eventually caught the ferry just 5 minutes before departure. All well and good. And it was a pleasure being there, regardless to the experience. Very nice, beautiful place, beautiful center. And the development is astonishing. Just wish I could stay there a little bit longer. I just wanted to ask a question about trying to get some governmental body or institution involved with projects as it happened to some other parts of the world, in particular like China. the government there is more in tune with foundation, as you've carried out quite a lot of things in a different level. So in UK, if I was, I mean, I've been contemplating for a few months actually to get in touch with certain people, who are involved in the ministry, perhaps agriculture as well as the health ministry. I was just wondering, do you think for UK, who's the source of all the trouble in the planet, would that be an appropriate approach? I just wanted to see your view.
You can approach most of the governments, and depends how they perceive and how they work. You got to realize when we speak about China, I spent nearly 3 years non-stop in China. We spend more or less, Wang Ling can tell you, on a daily, weekly interaction with different officials, with different governments, organizations in China. Chinese success hasn't come just out of being a Keshe Foundation. The Keshe Foundation team relentlessly for 3 years had interface with the officials in agriculture, in everything else, in military, in defense, in universities, and has been, we earned our knowledge and respect by showing the technology. And same time, Chinese organizations are very slow, and with Corona now has taken shape. And I'm sure once now that we've been told that the Chinese have released the first 100 million investment to Keshe Foundation and it'll go public, the other governments will start understanding and releasing the same position. And soon we'll make the same announcements in US. Everything takes time. And now we see after the Chinese holidays how it will come, and it'll be in the public domain how the Chinese government handles the first phase of the Keshe Foundation. You got to realize we were patents, we were talks, then knowledge seekers did some other things. Now we open offices to show that there is a reality to the technology. And now we open the factories and the governments now take notice. This is the difference. We came to an agreement with the Chinese officials some 2 years ago when we set up in the background in partnership with the Chinese secondary, what we call government organization, 100 million based euro company, which we were 50% knowledge based and they were 50% capital based. And then earlier this year, they transferred the other 50% to us, that the Keshe Foundation in China became 100% 100 million company organization. And then when we set the company up, the factory in Jinanjet, the Chinese government followed the procedure with what we call the 100 million investments, and then another 19 of these to follow the next 2 years. This is a massive, what we call hard work by knowledge seekers. It's not just the talk. A lot of knowledge seekers across China, they help with Corona, they help with agriculture, they help with any other aspects, and the Chinese government has kept the overall view of what this technology can do, and now they are investing with it. And I'm sure in next few weeks, the whole angle in respect to Keshe Foundation development around the world will change. Keshe Foundation, Mark Ray, backing shareholding of it, as you have seen, now approved and has re-entered what we call the American stock market. Well, I have resigned as the CEO of the company, but we have controlling share of the company and we lay out the future for new developments in agriculture and everything else in China, in the US as much as in China. and we will see the next development in the same progressive development. The same will come with Mexico. And now once one or two nations start rolling like this, the other governments will roll behind it. Because up to now, we had a massive negative 2 terabyte, what we call lies and accusation, which we didn't know has been sent to other governments. Now we found out what it is. Then this will kick back for those who set this way up. And at the same time, it's not only agriculture and other things or energy. Now we go into the space development. And this will change a lot of things for a lot of nations. And that's thanks to all of you, all knowledge seekers, being in Iran, being in London, in Romania, in Africa, everywhere around the world. Once China makes a move on the Keshe Foundation the way they have done, you will see the whole structure will change. And that's thanks to Keshe Foundation in China, with a massive factory which is there under development.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. We're hoping that we achieve that as soon as possible.
Hope we are doing closely working with you as well in Iran, with a massive, with your support and your family support in building the largest Keshe Foundation factory in Iran. Well, thank you for all your support.
It's a pleasure.
Keshe Foundation, in conjunction with Calvus's family, has set out to build, it's already built, it's going under operation to become, in next 12 months to 2 years, the largest manufacturing base of 20,000 square meters in north of Iran, in affecting the agriculture and the rest of it. And is a close collaboration as a whole of the family and the Keshe Foundation. Thank you very much, Calvus.
Thank you. All the thanks is for you. God bless you. It's because of you everything is in motion, and humanity hopefully will be in the brightest light ever. And I hope the sooner the better.
The beauty of it is the harder they work to damage, the easier it became, because people had to think twice. How could it be? And now we see changes are on the way. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. Any other question?
Yes, we have a deep space question from Ping Peter in the YouTube, who asks, when we travel in deep space using the plasma of light, would collisions be a possibility if others also travel at the same plasmatic magic field light strength?
No, impossible. We did a test some years ago with professors in electronics department of Ghent University, which we were heading to build the first 100 or 200 kilogram vehicle that could float. And in our research and the testing, one of the first things we noticed in the laboratories of the Ghent University was it will be impossible to collide even with the body of the man when you use GaN's technology for motion in cars, because you create a field in a specific way with a new what we call cars, even in a physical dimension, let alone at a light level, you interact with the fields and create a space gap. It'll be impossible to run people over, more or less. This is one of the first things we came to a conclusion in testing. We see combination of the changes. Crashing cars will become impossibility at any speed. It's a very interesting phenomena, but it'll be shown in the upcoming time. Because you drive a dynamic structure, you always field interact in the opposite pole, similar to direction, which means you can never come close to encounter, to interact. It's the same with the space technology travel. Unless you change polarity of the field, it's impossibility.
We have another technical question here from Cristiano in the chat in the Zoom, which says, I remember a teaching from the past where they discussed a MAGRAV method to reduce the number of hydrogen in the nucleus with the objective of reaching the amount of 1 hydrogen in the reactor's nucleus. With the use of this method, was the result achieved? Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
When we explain such a thing, that's the excellence of what we call ultimate understanding of the work. And it can be done in a different way. And this we always achieve singularity of what we call an atom. You call it a hydrogen. And we can singularity pick what we need and add to when we need it. There is a very big, and I said earlier on today, there is a very big difference in plasma technology of hydrogen. We have a hydrogen in the body of the man as part of the amino acid. We have a hydrogen as part of the air. At the same time, we have a hydrogen bomb. At the same time, we have hydrogen stars. At the same time, we have hydrogen plasma conditions in the universe. It's understanding what that condition of hydrogen is created or needed for what purpose. It's again use of a common language, which brings the misunderstanding. The hydrogen bomb is the same hydrogen which you're trying to use for energy as the same hydrogen that you use in the hydrogen balloons, but the same hydrogen in a specific way, it moves one of the biggest stars or galaxies in the universe. You have to understand how to apply it, in where to apply it, or how you can use the same hydrogen with a different angle of property and expansion that functions one in the body of the man to move a little bit of energy, or it becomes part of the water cell, or it becomes part of a motion and power for energy, or become a part of the motion of a galaxy or a universal system flight system. This is what most of knowledge seekers have not understood. Common terminology of the word does not bring common understanding of the application of the same thing. we separate hydrogen in cylinders or in reactors for a specific way, or we produce hydrogen gases for the human level consumption. But in a different way, in reactors, we create the same hydrogen, but maybe may move thousands of tons of weight, or we create a speeds beyond imagination. It's understanding how to apply the fields and their interactions. We say in English, horses for courses. Just because it's a horse doesn't mean can do everything to be a runner or a jumper. Any other question?
We don't have any more hands up. I think we've covered most of the questions. There's maybe one or two in the Q&A which we could have a better understanding of. Dan was asking or stating if it's over with the situation of the energy packages, so why are we ranked third in mortality and second place in infections in the world? I think he's referring to Romania.
Pardon?
He's saying if it's over with the situation of the energy packages. I think you mentioned that one time that it's over with the idea of virus energy packages, that we have a solution for that. So Dan's asking why is Romania ranked so poorly in mortality and infections?
The whole world at the moment is entangled with it. The problem is that these energy packages are mutating very rapidly. We have recently, we will release in next 7 days a new protocol through Dr. Arapur in Iran, as we usually do, for new, what they call the fevers and the temperatures, which comes with the new energy packs, and a new protocol in how you can convert and divert from it. The problem is governments have collectively to apply the environmental changes, and they are not doing so. Until that time, these energy packs will float everywhere and will affect the individual person or collectively. We have not, the only thing we need to understand is that these energy packs are all over the universe. It's not just exclusivity of this planet. And we have to create a pattern and understanding of the application of it. It's needed to be understood and handled collectively. This is the beginning of a change for the human race with these energy packs. In space will change, and will come every time we encounter new ways. We will mutate ourselves now, how to handle it. Any other question?
All I'm seeing right now, referring a couple of other places.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's time to call it a day for today.
Yep. We've been at it for 2.5 hours. Thank you very much for today. And I hope we start back in a pattern that knowledge seekers can share in what they've achieved around the world and how things will turn out to be. Thank you very much, Rick. And thank you very much for those who will be with us today.
Okay, and we can remind people to maybe, if they would like to show the examples of the plasma technology, they can get prepare something, a presentation of some sort for next week's workshop. Are you open to that from here on in, basically, to show people to show the technology?
Yep.
Would that be okay?
As long as we see what is there to be shown. We do not want to bring the situation we had 2 or 3 years ago, that the individuals think they come here to gain fame and try, then they become gurus and everything else goes wrong. We're just there to show the technology, and that's it. And we want to stop these abuses of just because you made the presentation, then you become abusive towards everything else. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe, for yet another Knowledge Seekers Workshop here, the 401st Knowledge Seekers Workshop on Thursday, October 7th, 2021. And what do we have coming up next would be, oh yes, we have the Testimonials meeting on Monday, October 11th. And that is at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And people are welcome to do a show and tell of their experiences with the plasma technology in that group. And perhaps we can use that as a means to leapfrog into showing something in the Knowledge Seekers Workshop next Thursday as well. So we can sort of gear up for that, and if we can have a presentation there, maybe we can show that to Mr. Keshe and so on. And we also have the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice coming up on Tuesday, October 12th of next week, and that's at 4 p.m. Central European Time.
I attended last Thursday, if I remember correctly, for the first time, the Vietnamese Keshe Foundation team teaching. It's an amazing group. I wasn't aware of their work, but there were some 60-odd people attending the Vietnamese teaching. And it's a fantastic work if any of you understand Vietnamese or the way they teach. It's very much like the North American, but more than North American group with the Vietnamese teaching. They have a beautiful teacher there as one of the old member of the Universal Council members, and it's amazing how Vietnamese teaching has taken shape in the Keshe Foundation corners very quietly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting us last week. It was an amazing experience.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe, for today's teaching and workshop. And I'll play some ads to end today's meeting. And we'll see everybody next week and same time and place, hopefully. Thanks, everyone, and bye for now.
innovative, revolutionary, stellar development, purest universal knowledge, in a transformative, futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding the essence of the new GANS plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural, balanced, energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural, original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection, as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists and healthcare centres. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information.
Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on Earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. KesheFoundation.org/donate